Hey there, how's it going? So I want to make this video and provide anyone on my team or anyone who does see this and is considering learning about what being a Beachbody coach is all about to kind of hear what my personal why is, to give you an insight into why some of us choose to take advantage of this opportunity. Your why is something very personal. It's what's going to drive you and motivate you forward. And I've been a Beachbody coach for over a year now, and I'll be honest, I don't give my why enough thought. And the other day, I knew that I had to really delve into this, and I knew that if I made a video about it, that it would hold me more accountable instead of just writing a little bit down on a piece of paper and then losing that piece of paper and forgetting what I wrote and just so this is going to be a little choppy, I guess, and I might digress from one thought to another, but I need to do this for me, and if it helps you along the way, then awesome as well. So why I want to take full advantage of this opportunity comes in a variety of forms. I'm going to touch first on the financial end, because everybody has the desire, I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of people have the desire to be able to live life financially free. Some people don't truly understand what it means to struggle financially, and I want to be able to show those people that even if you have lived in absolute just debt and fear of spending a penny, that there is hope, because that is where I am at right now. I have a roof over my head. I have things that I get to use here in my house. I have things. I have a roof over my head. You know, there's a little bit of food in the fridge. So I know that it could be much, much worse, but it's pretty dang bad right now. I don't have any credit cards that are available to use because they've been maxed out from my medical bills and my medical issues, along with my dog Ellington's issues. They just got swiped on the credit cards. So my 3 credit cards are all on, I can't remember what the proper term is, but like hold. I cannot use them. They've reached their limit. One of them has exceeded the limit because of late fees, and it's just really bad. So all the money that I spend is directly what I have. It is coming from what I have, and more times than I would like to acknowledge, I have had help to keep this roof over my head from my grandmother. And that pains me, because the money that she lives off of is the money that her and my grandfather worked to have to create their life. And she is giving that to me to keep this roof over my head because I'm struggling. And I'm very grateful for that, but it also makes me angry that I'm not doing a better job supporting myself so that she has that money to use in the way that she wants. Financial freedom goes outside of the spectrum of being able to pay bills, but the freedom to do things that I would like to do. I'm a relatively introverted individual, so I don't mind spending my Friday and Saturday nights at home with Ellington, but there are times I would like to go out and grab a beer and maybe try and get to know people that I'm sitting around with, or call somebody up here that I know and be able to just go on an adventure, take a day trip somewhere. But I don't have that money to put the gas in my car to make that type of trip. The gas that's in my car is calculated so that I know I can get to my job as a tennis coach and back before the next time I have to fill up gas. So I just want the ability to, get myself in a better position, not be a statistic who has financial debt. I have debt with credit cards. I have student loan debt, medical bill debt. I don't want to be a statistic anymore. I want to be able to get rid of that. I also want to be able to help others see that if you are holding back, like I have and do hold back in enjoying life because of money, that there is an avenue, a respectful avenue, in order for you to make a change. Now, I want to digress for just a little bit off of that and touch on the fact that this does not just mean financial income to me. While I do receive commission and an income based off what I do as a coach, that does not mean that that is my sole focus on this. And I will get into more of my why, but I do want to elaborate on that because the people that I work with are friends. The people that I work with are people that inspire me, and I get the opportunity to inspire. And our connection goes far beyond the amount of money that goes into the paycheck that I receive every Thursday. So again, while the financial aspect of this opportunity is crucial for me in order to do the things that I wish to do, like pay off my debt and be able to travel and do what I want, then, not then, but as much as that is a part of it, it does not encompass the entirety of my why and why I do this, because people that I work with are not just dollar signs. The other, one of the other things that I am really starting to focus on in my aspect of my why is the fact that I want to provide a supportive environment for people who have grown up feeling the way that I have felt. And I am still working on learning how to approach the avenue that I would like to kind of go about doing. But one of the things that I would like to do is work with high school girls, middle school aged girls, learn how to have self-respect for themselves and develop their confidence. I am a tennis instructor, and I've played many different sports at which I excelled in as a kid and teenager. And a lot of the ways that I meet students is through these sports. So while there might be an on-court basis that I get to coach them through, I would also like to be able to devise some type of plan or system or group in order to help them become the best that they can be as young as they can, in order to have that mindset already developed. Because I'm 30 years old and I struggle to have a roof over my head. I still struggle with bouts of depression. I struggle to still feel like I'm worthy enough for this or that I'm good enough. And I want to help young girls know that whatever adversity they face, whatever struggle they face, as they get older and wiser, and the experiences that they have to endure, because that's just life, they will be okay. Part of that, I'm working on trying to devise a plan in order to have some form of actual group, meeting group. I love the idea of online support groups, but I would love to find some form of location where I can organize an event or group setting where parents and daughters can come to this event. I don't really know what the event may entail, but it's some brainstorming ideas are going on. And again, remember I said this would be a little bit choppy. It's kind of more for me to just verbally get it out. And I thought this might be really good accountability for me. But that's a big aspect of my why, is really getting to help other women feel empowered and inspired. I just found this picture. I was looking for a specific picture for my grandparents, or of my grandparents, and I found this picture here. And I believe this was, I want to say 7th or 8th grade. And I'm going to kind of fold it here because I don't know if the other girl in this picture would like to be seen on this. But that is me right there. I don't know how to show it so that you can actually kind of see my stature and just how my body language is represented, but I'm not happy. This picture is being taken. I remember this picture being taken, and I'm muffling under my breath, hurry the hell up. I hated my picture being taken. I felt uncomfortable in a dress. I had body image issues already at that age, and I just didn't feel comfortable. And this is one of the main reasons why reaching out to young women and young girls is a huge part of my why. It will go far beyond the nutritional aspect and teaching them how to appropriately fuel their body and how to go about working out to stay fit and healthy. It will go into the mentality aspect of it all. And this I thought was a good representation because as you see, I'm slunched over. I can remember having back pain because I always walked around with my head down. And usually the words that were always heard from me were, I can't and I'm sorry. I always felt like I had to be sorry for something, and I was always saying I can't do something. And I don't want others to have to feel like that at such a young age. I want to help them grow up to have just an incredible amount of confidence, not in a cocky way, but just confidence that no matter what their life is going to face, they are going to be able to achieve whatever they set out to do. Another area of my why is I'm going to go back to my grandparents. I have two pictures here just because I love showing their pictures. This is my paw. This is when we were little. That's myself and my two brothers. And that's Paul. He passed away almost 11 and a half years ago. Sometimes that gets to me and sometimes it doesn't. But he passed away. Sorry. And he doesn't get to know who I'm working to become. I don't get to talk with him about my ideas. And be the person that he wanted me to be. I believe that Ellington is him reincarnated because of the bond that he and I have. And I'm grateful for that. And I believe that there's some form of way that he watches down on me and he knows what it is that I'm doing. But right now, I don't feel like I'm doing a good enough job being the person that he would want me to be to make him proud. And that is a huge part of my why, as well as my mom, who is still here, and my very best friend. That's an old picture. That's also my brother, Brennan. And we are two very different people in our beliefs, in the way we approach things, our thought process. But we have this incredible bond, just like I had with Paul. And she's done she's done so much for me in the 30 years that I've been on this earth that I will never be able to repay her for. When my mom had me, my dad was not in the picture. And my mom moved home with Mom and Paul. They're her parents. And they helped raise me. And that's why I became so strong with my mom and Paul, because I was not just their granddaughter. I was also a daughter. They raised me like one of their own. You know, it was like I was my mom or my aunt. I just grew up under their roof. And, you know, then my dad came back in the picture, and my brothers came around, and we became, you know, a family. But I still had this incredible connection. So ever since day one, she has been my backboard. And as I said earlier, she's financially assisted me, which I am forever grateful for. But again, I want to be able to help her, not the other way around. She's at the age where you know, it's more difficult to do things, and I would like to be able to provide her with things that are going to make it easier and not make her health an issue. And there's just a variety of things that go into my why when it comes to the two of them. My grandfather always thought I'd do something business oriented. I can't really remember the basis of our talks, but I remember how he always thought I'd manage a restaurant. He just thought I had the business savvy for that. And my grandmother and I always talked about how I wanted to be a teacher because of my influence from my old principal in kindergarten. And I feel like this is such an incredible connection of both of them, because I love teaching. I love helping others. And I feel like it's I don't even know how to describe it, but I feel like it's somehow just, I get the parts of Mal and what she kind of wanted for me as that teacher, that role model, they come into play. Then I get what Paul kind of visualized for my life as being this business savvy, you know, control, being the boss, leadership role, and that comes into play. And then I also have the ideas and the type of person I've developed into because of my role model, who was my principal, who made me want to become a teacher. And I feel like all of those intertwined together is what I'm still working to devise and develop. But it's such a huge area that I know I need to focus on so that I truly understand what my why is. So I've talked about, yes, the financial aspect and being able to help young women. And not that I want to segregate and only help women, but I just feel like there's a bit more of a connection that I have with them. Ironically, I feel I have more male friends, but not on this type of level. And I guess one other aspect of my why would be, for me personally, I suffered a severe neck injury in high school and was not able to play sports for several years. After high school, I did go to school, and I played tennis for 3 years, and then I had to give up the racket because things just got intensely worse. And I didn't pick up a racket or play any sports or was physically active for almost 5 years until I started working as a camp counselor in Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, at this incredible, they will forever have the best summer camp ever. If you need a recommendation of where to take your kids for summer camp, I will name drop that for you. It's Colonial Hill Sports, and it's freaking amazing. But the point of this, to digress back to what I was talking about, I started to get back into my physique and wanting to change my physique, but for the wrong reasons. There was a guy that I was interested in, and I was uncomfortable with my body image, and I started working out, heavily working out. I would go into work early, I'd work out for an hour, and then after work, I'd stay there and I'd work out for at least 2 hours. I would wear the trash bag suits underneath my clothes, and I would run and run and run, and then I would do sprints, and then I'd run and run and run, and then I'd do sprints, and I'd go back to the treadmill, and then I would do weightlifting, and I burnt my body out. My body couldn't handle that to begin with, especially after taking all that time off of. The pain was just so bad. So then I got depressed because I could barely do anything because of all the pain since I made it flare up. And it just was a downward cycle. But one of the individuals that I worked with, a dear friend, who was also very into health and fitness, I got to watch and work out with her and kind of learn different exercises that worked for me. Some of them I would watch her do, and I would try and I would fail because my body just wasn't able to do them. And to this day, I still do some of them, and they're very, very difficult, but I can do them more than what I could then. And that kind of was what sparked my interest in just overall health and fitness. I started to pay a little bit more attention to what I was eating. I didn't change it too drastically. I still ate a lot of crap, but I started to take note. and I started to understand more why health and nutrition is so important in just an overall basis, whether you're fully focused on it like I am or just being mindful of the choices you're making. And then I got to North Carolina, and there's a lot of time between then and my time when I moved to North Carolina. But when my health started to deteriorate because of what we found out was lupus, I knew I had to make really big changes. And coincidentally, at the same time frame, I was introduced to the Beachbody opportunity. I had gotten a Beachbody program, I want to say it was the Kathy Smith program, when I was in high school with my first credit card. My parents didn't know I got it. And it was because I was ashamed of my body image then, and I was just trying anything. But I didn't know what I was doing then, and I wasn't talking about it with anybody. So I'm going into a lot of my story here, and I don't mean to, so I digress. But between the time at Colonial and kind of igniting this interest in health and fitness, and then becoming really, really ill and really weak and just my health deteriorating, it intensified that interest. So I took advantage of the coaching opportunity, and I knew that it was going to help me start to do the things that I want to do. I'm currently struggling with being active because of severe hip and leg pain. Can't talk. But I'm far better off than what I was just a few years ago. I could barely walk up the stairs without being in pain and crying. And now I'm out standing on the tennis courts sometimes 8-9 hours a day. And a lot of the time I'm hitting within that time. Now, mind you, I'm not hitting like I would in a match. If I were playing a match, it's very different compared to what I am doing. But I have some students who definitely kick butt and have some pace behind their ball. So I have to move. I have to move quick. And that's something my body could not do before, was move quick. So I'm sure I will work on devising some more ideas that go into my why, but those are the primary factors of my why. And to kind of just summarize, it is to be the person that my grandparents visualize, but also in respect to how I feel. You know, as I said, I'm very different from them. I'm a little bit more boisterous, and there's just things that I perceive and process differently, whether right or wrong. So, but I'm very connected to them and their thoughts. So I want to be that person that makes them proud. I want to financially be able to support myself and be financially free to do whatever it is I want, whenever it is I want. Support her, support my parents and my brothers, just travel, whatever it may be that would deem under the financially freedom aspect. I want to know what that is like. I want to experience that. I don't want to continue to have to worry about keeping a roof over my head and having to be assisted for it. And the aspect when it comes to helping others, I would really like to focus on helping those who have lived very similar situations as I have. I haven't delved into a lot of things I've lived through in my life just because it's not the time nor place yet. I'm not ready, but the things that I have shared about, I feel like I can relate to a lot of people, especially young girls. And I want to help young girls, middle school, high school age, whether it be just through an online group or eventually devising a form of plan where that we can meet in person and have some really cool like curriculum type things going on or whatever. I just want to be able to reach young girls and help them strengthen or develop, if they don't have any as of now, self-respect and self-confidence. So, all right, I have a feeling this is going to be really long because I got chatty there when I got emotional. So if you're watching this, that's just a little bit of me and my why. And if you do not have a coach and you are curious about what this opportunity entails, I would be more than happy to share my insights and knowledge with you. We'll talk soon. Bye, y'all.